All right. According to that little spinny thing on my computer, we're now live. And I'm here at East Dallas Volkswagen today on a Saturday morning, a few days after Thanksgiving. And I'm here with an old friend of mine named PJ. And I think introductions are extremely important because they let the audience know your wisdom and your experience and all that. So will you tell us how long your name and how long you've been in the business and pronounce your last name so I don't mess it up?
PJ Neher. I have I've been in the car business my 40th year in the car business.
Wow.
So I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm 45 years. So I got you for about 5 years. You look younger than that.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I try to, hide in the gray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Same here.
I started in August of '86 changing oil for a Ford store in Plano.
Wow. Yeah.
Went through the asset program and the tech for 10 years. And then I've been a manager for almost 30.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot. We've both been through that chain. Were you ever an advisor?
Never wrote service.
Never wrote service? You just skipped that part.
It went
that was the most painful part.
Went straight from being a tech to shop foreman for Lexus for, I think, 6 weeks, and then service manager.
Wow. What is that company still in business?
Park Place.
Okay. So kind of, but not really.
Changed hands.
Yeah. I heard you say Middlecoff earlier too.
Middlecoff, yeah.
That's not around.
No, it's gone. It's I think it's 5-star now.
Huh.
In over off of Plano Parkway.
Mm-hmm. So how many brands do you think you've worked with?
Let's see, Ford, Nissan several times, Toyota, Lexus, Hyundai, and now Volkswagen.
Yeah, and it gives you a perspective of everything. One time I was a platform director over 12 different manufacturers, and I purposely went to as much training as I could, especially the customer service training, because I wanted to see what each one did. And you would think Mercedes and BMW would be different than Kia and Hyundai or whatever. They're all shooting for the same goal, and that's I don't like the real reason, which is to get a good survey, but to give good customer service. So
yeah, and I think at the end of the day, most of them hire the same companies for the training.
They do. Yeah. JD Powers.
Yeah.
And
it's all very similar.
I would love to know the total amount. I know it's billions and billions of dollars that dealerships in the country have spent with JD Powers trying to get their CSI to go up. Since like 1986, customer satisfaction has only gone up like 2 points.
Yeah, and it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't go anywhere without getting surveyed, right? I mean,
no,
you go to
restaurant.
Home Depot and the girl's circling the thing on the receipt for her survey, and Burger King, McDonald's.
Yeah.
And so I think people are kind of surveyed out.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones you get are the ones that people are upset.
Yeah, because they'll sure give a bad one.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I think I think the national average right now is like 88.9, something like that for all, if you put them all together. And I think the only people bringing that down is the upset people, which is very few.
Yeah, I mean most. You think about it. I mean, if you go to Home Depot and have a great experience, are you gonna take the time to sit down and do a survey?
I have a few times just because they were so nice and they asked me for it, and I know how important it is. So if I go to a restaurant, it's that digital one that says rate me, I'll go ahead and spend the extra.
I'm that guy that if they have that kiosk on the table, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I make a person come and check me out.
Yeah. Huh. I do a little bit of both. Yeah, but I don't mind the kiosk. Do your advisors here check people out, or do you have a cashier?
We use the tablets to write people up, but we have a cashier.
Okay. I always try to do both, where if the customer just wants to go to the cashier, they can, but if the advisor, statistics show that if the advisor checks them out, customer satisfaction's higher for whatever reason.
We're working towards that. We're having some trouble with our system trying to get online pay set up.
Okay. I won't ask you who you're using. Okay. So you got a bunch of experience with different brands, and you went from changing oil to manager about like that, because you've actually been a manager longer than I have. I've just been in the business longer. It took me further to get there. I started out changing oil, busting tires, tech, advisor, service manager, service director, GM. So it just took me a long time to get to that point. But so one of the things that we do at Eddie & Service is we try to make it so that customers have a good visit to the dealership.
Yeah.
And I believe that everybody's responsible. Forever, it's been the manufacturer, the dealer, service manager, service advisor, and the technician. But I think the customer also has some game.
Certainly.
In this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today I'm just kind of going to go down the food chain.
Okay.
And I just want to mention a couple of things that people can do in that food chain. So we'll start at the manufacturer level. I think always building a better car is definitely the way to do it. I remember I was with Kia back in the day when they built a bad car back in the 80s, really bad.
They had some issues.
And in the 90s. And then they said, you know what? We found out that Americans would buy a crappy car one time. So they had to rechange everything. So they started building a better car.
Right.
And for a while there, they had a thing where they wanted their quality to go up, and they checked every car that came off the assembly line. And you could see the difference, the quality control that they were doing.
Well, I mean, they certainly have the best warranties. They've got to have a good product to stand behind that.
Yeah, I could see the difference because at the time I was working at the #1 dealership in America, and I could see the quality instantly go up when they started checking. Because right now, it's different for every manufacturer, but I think they check either the 9th car coming off the line or the 17th car. And on that 17th car, they check the alignment. And if it's off, they go back and adjust the machine and all that. So there's several cars that are going through that line that aren't getting quality control.
Yeah, I spent a year working for them when they were in the bad part.
Yeah, I feel bad for you.
It was tough.
I got lucky. I stepped in right when it took off, and all of a sudden it was a good car. Did you work for Hyundai too?
Yeah, I worked for a Hyundai in Plano for about a year.
Yeah. I went to South Korea to visit Kia.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I had a Hyundai jacket on, and they wouldn't let me in the building.
I mean, it's the same company.
I know, but that's how weird it was.
Yeah.
And then we went to their parts warehouse, which was at the time, I think, the biggest one in the world. So,
and all the packages have both names on.
Yeah. But yet they made me put tape over my jacket. And the Hyundai building's across the street, and the Kia building's on this side.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. Is there anything you can think that the manufacturer could do to make customer service better?
I mean, I think education. As far as service goes at the point of sale,
Mm-hmm.
and we get into all these situations now where all the manufacturers are trying to stretch out service intervals.
Don't get me started.
And so I know that it's all done for cost of ownership and trying to drive down the cost of ownership. But when you're only asking your service customer to come in once a year, there's so much can go wrong. And there's no familiarity with the service department. You can't build any relationships on the service side because you're not seeing people enough.
Nope.
And not that we want you coming in every month, but to at least see people maybe 2-3 times a year, like we used to with 5,000 mile oil changes.
3,000 back in
3,000 back when I started too.
Yeah.
And then when I went to 3750, everybody freaked out.
Yeah. But even I fought it forever. Even when they were, 7,500, I was still doing them at 3,000. I just started following it here recently.
I do mine at 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too now.
And oil change, tire rotation every 5.
Yeah, I know that. I don't feel like that's real. I think the manufacturer is trying to get that cost of ownership down, but it hurts the used car later or after the warranty goes out.
I mean,
there's a lot of engines being replaced under warranty right now that have long oil changes under them.
And you look at, just drive down the road. I mean, try coming here.
Mm-hmm.
The construction everywhere, potholes. You can knock your car out of alignment at 3,000 miles. By the time you get here at 10, you're having to buy a set of tires.
Yeah. There's a lot that can go wrong. Like you said, you can't build a relationship. Right. So I don't think it brings loyalty to the actual owner. So
and the customers are uncomfortable because
they
don't come in.
The whole thing that this thing got started was Gen Z has a hard time coming in anyway. I only saw one Gen Zer every 2 or 3 months that only brought their car in. Their parents are still bringing their car in, and they're 26 years old. Because they don't know how to get to the dealership. They don't want to pull in those service bay doors. They don't know who to talk to. So we're not doing the Gen Z people any favors by telling them they don't have to come in but once a year.
Well, I think it even goes back further than that. Each generation. I mean, I don't think their parents came in. You have to go back to people our age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have any kids that drive?
I have. I'm trying to think. 1, 2, 3 3 that are driving, 1 with a permit, and 1 almost with a permit.
You have 8 kids total.
8 children total.
You're gonna have to open a car lot.
Pretty much, yeah. 3 boys, 5 girls.
Of the ones driving, are they boys or girls?
My oldest boy is driving, and then the 2 oldest girls are driving.
Do you see a difference between the boys and the girls driving?
I would say that my girls are more aggressive.
Really?
Yes.
Because I have 3
And
daughters.
I don't know if they learned that from me, but my 19-year-old, she drives just like me.
Wow.
Yes.
Because mine drive the
go
opposite.
through a lot of breaks.
Yeah. Mine, they drive 2 miles below the speed limit. It drives me crazy.
I don't have any of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm
And
just
my
the
one that's
opposite.
got her permit now, she's popping a wheelie at every light.
Wow. I like her already. All right. Well, that's the top of the food chain, the manufacturer. The next one on the food chain of making a customer visit good is the dealer. And what I've always been able to see is the dealer controls the culture of the dealership.
Absolutely.
So if it's a good culture, I think the customers can sense that. I've been in some dealerships where I walk in to see one of my friends or something, and I get greeted by a finance guy that's grumpy as all get out. I'm just, you can feel it right when you walk through the door.
Yeah, I mean, you can walk into a store and you can just tell from the vibe, from the atmosphere of the store as soon as you walk in, whether it's going to be good or bad.
Yeah.
And and that's one of the big things we look for when we're hiring. I can teach people how to ride service. I can teach people how to fix cars. I can teach someone how to be a cashier, but you can't teach culture. You have to hire good people who have a passion for caring.
Well, I've met your guy. Is he your service drive manager?
Lee?
Yeah, he's awesome. I met him like 3 times.
Yeah,
you hit the jackpot.
Yeah, he does an amazing job for us.
Yeah, smiling all the time, friendly, greeting people. This morning I pulled on the service drive. He was extremely nice, but I could tell he wanted me off the service drive. But he never said that. He was just like, "Can I help you unload some stuff? Can I help you? Where do you want to park?" He's so
passionate
good at that.
about making sure the drive is clean.
Yeah. I am too.
But we didn't start that way. It's been a 13, 14-month process of getting the right people in the store and getting everything plugged in and hiring the right people.
It's funny that we're talking about it because here comes the actual dealer principal right now. Put that on there.
Yes, sir.
Just talking to here when you get ready. This is Luis Perez. He's the actual dealer of East Dallas Volkswagen that we were just talking about. We're talking about the food chain from the manufacturer to the customer on what can make the customer's visit better. And we were just talking about culture of dealership.
Yes, sir.
You believe that culture is important?
I think it's all about culture at the end of the day. And it comes down from the top, Eddie, as you know, and we worked before in other dealerships that the belief that the owner or the dealer has, it trickles down all the way
100%.
down. And really, customer service, that's what it's all about. If you don't believe it, you're not going to do it.
Well, I'm blessed enough that I can tell everybody I got to work for you. And I think we had a great time.
Yes,
I mean, it was fun to go to work every day.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just when you have that harmony in a dealership with your employees, it just makes it so much different. I know, PJ is in charge of the service and parts here, and I can see that same smile that you had when you were coming in. Because you were excited, and that's who we are at the end of the day is that excitement to do well for our customers and treat them the right way.
And I think you have that positive energy. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen you without the smile on your face. I probably have, but even I put this little, you can't see it, but I put your stand up. Move your head, PJ. A view back there. I put that back there just so people can see in the background. But that's how I always see you, just always smiling and waving at people. And because I'm from the service world, so many customers ask about you and always ask, is he really that nice? I'm like, yeah, he's the real deal.
Yeah, well,
I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Eddie.
Yeah.
I'm a happy person, by nature. In this business that I love so much, it just gives me so much pleasure to be a part of it. I'm telling you, I wake up in the morning, ready to go with a smile on my face while I'm making my coffee, and I'm getting ready. And usually Saturdays are our best day in the car business, and I get pumped up, and I'm thinking about what I'm going to say in the meeting, because I do have a meeting with my salespeople every day, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I was listening to the one through the door earlier, trying to get some tips.
But it's exciting. This business gives you an adrenaline rush like nothing else.
You can make some money.
It's not only
It's
about
just a
that,
good business to be in.
because you get to help people. You get to to do great things for a lot of customers, because everybody is different. Whether they have good credit or challenge credit, or somebody needs a second chance, or even a third chance in financing. And we understand that bad things happen to good people all the time, right? And we're here to take care of them, their needs, whether they're big or small. We're here for everybody.
You kind of answered that question. So one of the things Eddie in Service does is our whole goal is to make customers feel comfortable coming to the dealership. Is there something the customer can do to make their sales buying experience better? I mean, do you want them to do research first, or come in? What's the best thing a customer can do to be comfortable when he walks in?
Well, I tell you, things have changed in the car industry over the years, but I still believe that people buy from people. And I mean, this is not a pair of jeans that you're getting. This is a vehicle that you need to feel, you need to test drive, you need to feel it. And at the end of the day, I would invite everyone to come and take a look at our products, because our products are second to none. They are very affordable products. Nowadays, when you think about a new car and the price point being over $50,000 for a new car, and here we are with this brand. We have a $23,000 Jetta.
Wow.
We have a 26.9 Taos SUV. We have a 29,995, Tiguan. We have, and then we go to the Crossport, that starts out at 36,995. And then we have the 7-row Atlas for the family that starts at 39,995. So all of our vehicles are super affordable. Well below that $50,000 new price average. And I say this jokingly, but every time I go, I'm on the highway and I see a car on the side of the road, I see what model is it.
I do too. I do the same thing.
And I find very, very few Volkswagens, that are broken down.
Right.
And I tell that to my customers, and they giggle, but it's true.
Yeah, it is true.
So very affordable, reliability. I mean, great warranty from the company. We give a lifetime warranty on the engine and transmission. So if you bring it here for service, we keep all your records. We make sure that you're in top shape and everything, and you have a lifetime warranty on the engine and transmission. So that says a lot, because we put our name behind it.
Sounds like you have a good relationship with the customer too.
Excellent. We have 4.9 Google reviews. And that doesn't come, by chance. That comes because we actually take the time, to talk to the customer, to find out what their needs, are. And then match them up with the perfect vehicle, that they need for whatever, whether it be work or family or traveling, sales, whatever it is, we match you up with the perfect car. And not only on the new car side, but we have a great selection of used cars. We have over 300, used cars available.
Wow.
From the very top.
I see some big trucks out there.
Yes, sir. To just the everyday, point A to point B transportation needs vehicle. So we have something for everybody, and for every budget.
Yeah. And I know this is your second Volkswagen store, right? Because you used
No,
to have one.
no.
Didn't you have one in?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But this is actually, and I'm going to go way,
Oh,
way
wow.
back here,
Wow.
guys. But actually, in 1995, me and my ex-partner, Leo Griggs,
Mhm.
landed at that time, it was Park City's Plymouth, Chrysler, Eagle, Jeep, and Volkswagen.
I knew all the other ones. I didn't know the
Yeah.
Volkswagen.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
wow.
That turned into Park City's Volkswagen. Park City's Volkswagen turned into Louisville Volkswagen. And then we went down to Corpus Christi Volkswagen in
Mhm.
2010.
It's still there.
Yeah. And then we got Volkswagen of Waco in 2018. And now, we're here in East Dallas Volkswagen. And so excited
Me too.
to be with a brand that I love.
Yeah.
And that I've been associated with for 30 years now.
Wow. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We appreciate it.
Thank you. There's always something to say when you have a passion for a brand, right?
Mhm.
And this brand I love, is the piece of love.
Yes. He's right back there.
Yeah, piece of
Yeah.
love, my friend. Deal, and it's exciting. It's exciting the way that this manufacturer does things.
Mhm.
They do it the right way. They work with their partners because we're their partners. And they're always, taking suggestions and, how
That's
can
good.
we get better,
Yeah.
at what we do and with our vehicles.
I love it.
They give us a ton of support on the service side too, being able to take care of customers.
Yeah. And I know a lot of dealer principals have a connection with the manufacturer who we just talked about before you got here. So having that strong relationship helps the customer in the long run too. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
And then, the leadership of Volkswagen, I mean, it's second to none.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest car brands in the world. They're right there, fighting each other with Toyota all the time. But I think Volkswagen overtakes them in total volume. But the quality, the quality of the vehicles, now that they are producing so much more vehicles here in the United States, you've seen that quality, improve.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A lot from the early days when everything just seemed, very plastic. Now that the attention to detail is there, along with the German, engineering that goes behind each and every vehicle. But yes, I love it. Thank you for having me on your show.
I'm
guys.
so glad you came over here.
I know you guys have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna kick you out because we're talking about service.
That's right. Well, excuse me.
Thanks for stopping by, though. I made
Thank
that
you.
seat just for you.
Well,
So glad
thank you.
came by.
Thank you very much. I enjoy it. Eddie, this is your
thanks.
house.
Yes.
You're
Thank you.
welcome
I always
anytime
feel
you want to
welcome.
come in here.
Yeah.
And PJ always welcomes people like you and any customer. We invite you to come over. We work on every car, make, and model.
We'll fix anything.
It don't have to be Volkswagen. As a matter of fact, we work on everything. So if you have an issue and you haven't had the answer or you want a second opinion, come see PJ and we'll make sure and roll the red carpet out for you and do it right the first time, right, PJ?
Absolutely.
A lot of people take 2-3 times to fix a car, right? Here we try to do the first time,
Amen.
and give you the best service possible.
And
Thank you.
your guys are so nice. We were just talking about his service drive manager, who's awesome. And then I know several of your sales guys. They're just like family. So
Yes.
thanks for letting me come in here and take up this show report.
Well, thank you. And I really enjoy it. Thank you,
All right.
Eddie.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, that was fun. I think that's the first time a dealer principal's ever come on while we were talking. So that was a blast. So that was the actual dealer here who we were just talking about. You can make things better.
That's great.
Perfect timing. But the next one we're going to talk about is the service managers, what you do. And I always liked it I was always on the service drive. I would much rather be in there on the service drive than stuck in a dark room sending reports in.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because you go to different stores and a lot of it is believe it or not, it's geographical. You got it's based on the layout of the store, how it's built, how it's put together, and whether or not you can even find a spot to sit on the service drive.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
All your advisor offices are full,
Mhm.
and then the manufacturers, in my opinion, don't do a good job of designing it
No.
to where the service manager can be on the drive.
Now, I'm not crazy about the fishbowl thing. I've had a couple of those offices where, because you can't, if you have an upset customer or a happy customer or an upset employee, or I mean, everybody sees your business. So
You
it's,
do. I mean,
you might have an employee that had a father pass away and they're in there crying and there's customers staring at them. I've never liked the fishbowl.
It's kind of a 50-50 thing. I'm in a fishbowl for
Mhm.
sure. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm surrounded by glass.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
see
not
it.
hiding from anybody. But and I've been in dealerships where the layout was fantastic, and I had an office right at the end of the service drive with one glass wall, but I had some blinds, right, and so I could see all of my advisors,
Mhm.
hear every interaction with the customers.
Do you remember back in the day when we were getting started in the service manager's office, like upstairs above the
for
shop
sure.
in the
Yeah.
back, and nobody ever saw him?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even the same thing when they would hide shop foreman.
Yeah.
Shop foreman would be up in the dispatcher's office and in the tower. And
It's not where he needs to be.
I worked at Westway way back in the day,
Mhm.
and they had this tower in the back that you had to climb this death-defying staircase up to, and we had old bank teller tubes.
I remember those. Shunk.
Yep.
It just kind of sucks it up the tube. Yeah.
The dispatcher would send us our tickets down
Mhm.
to the tubes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Old school.
Mm-hmm. That is old school. We talked earlier about some of these big franchise places where the service manager is just doing reports all day, and he's got to get 16 of them in today, and he's got to get a request in to buy light bulbs, and he's stuck in that office, and they always wonder why he either quit or got fired or whatever. There's no culture. There's no talking to the employees. No. Just you're either hiring or firing and turning in reports. That's why I've always enjoyed working for a smaller brand.
Yeah, I've been forever riding the car business. Once you get in it, you can't get out.
No.
But there's certainly a difference between a public store and a smaller private group, and just the autonomy that we get as far as taking care of customers and really, driving the culture of the store. I've worked for a couple of public stores where you're just not allowed to do anything. You're handed, here's your binder. These are the rules you have to operate by.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't hire anybody. You can't fire anybody. You can't change any advertising. And if you don't like the way we do it, then there's the door.
Yep. It's pretty stressful too.
Very.
So we got about 15 minutes later, so I'm going to try to get through them. The next level of that food chain is the service advisor. And I could talk about this one all the time. So what's some things the advisor can do to make the customer's visit better?
It starts with communication, and that's the biggest thing we hear on any of the feedback, any of the surveys is communication. I called, I couldn't get a hold of anybody. My service advisor didn't call me back. I dropped my car off at 10 o'clock this morning. I've got to pick my kids up at 3. Is it ready? So, just communicate with your customers.
Are you using any AI yet?
We are.
For that? Yep. Yeah, I think I'm not mad at it. I was at first, but I heard an AI, somebody was like, showing me what the AI can do. And I was listening to some of the phone calls, and a lady called in and said, "Hey, I just bought this new car. There was a time change in the, what do they call that? Daylight savings time."
Yeah, time change.
Called in, said, "How do I set my clock?" It was AI. She never knew it. AI said, "Okay, are you in your car?" She's like, "Yes." "Okay, hit settings, hit the clock, walked her all the way through it. And "Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it." Hung up the phone. And I was thinking, is there an employee in my dealership that could have talked that lady into fixing her
I know
clock?
That sounds a little more sophisticated than what we have for sure.
There's just so many different brands,
right?
But AI knew that it was this year model and what kind of car it was, and knew right where to go, and everybody was happy. So I don't hate AI, but like you said in the beginning, it is a people business. And even though we're working on cars, we're working on people too. So that advisor has to have empathy and try to understand what the customer's going through. And communication is 100% key to having a good customer service visit.
It certainly has its place. It's beneficial on someone calls in and they just want to make an appointment,
Mhm.
right? And the advisors are busy, engaged with other customers, and it's able to immediately text that customer and send them a link to our online scheduler. So from that side, instead of just going to a voicemail, that's certainly beneficial from that part of it. It can look at our DMS and see kind of what the status of the car is and attempt to update the customer. And then it'll send a message to the advisor. So the advisor knows, hey, this customer called in, they need to be updated.
Yeah, because I think sometimes when the phone, nobody's answering, the customer might think that there's just a guy sitting around watching TikTok.
Right.
And that's not the case. He's usually got a customer in front of him, he or she, and that's why they can't. Or two or three waiting to pick up their car or whatever. Because in this business, I don't know what it is, but everybody pulls up at the same time. You could be sitting there 30 minutes not doing anything, and 11 cars pull up.
We've got 5 advisors on a service drive, and you would think that at no point would there ever not be somebody here. You're open from 7 to 7, so you've got to schedule your shifts out, right? Otherwise, you're working everybody 70 hours a week.
Yep.
And then you got to have people working Saturdays, so they've got to have a day off. And then somebody goes to lunch, and inevitably you're down to 1 or 2 for a couple hours. And 5 cars pull on the service drive. It can be a lot.
Yeah. So
and the phone's not getting answered.
No. So I think AI is definitely going to help make that customer visit a lot better. So we'll go to the next one, which is the technician out in the shop. They have a lot to do with the customer satisfaction. I think what Luis Perez just said a second ago is that they fixed the car right the first time. I think that's a biggie.
It's huge, and Volkswagen is really focused on it.
Good.
And it's like 25% of our survey score, that one question.
Mm-hmm.
And so technicians want to do a good job.
They do.
It's the technology in the vehicles, it makes it tough.
I'm glad you brought that up, because they do want to fix it the first time, because if it comes in the second time, they may have to work on it for free.
Right.
And they don't want to do that.
Yeah, you get some of these check engine lights that are vapor leaks, small evap leaks, and you chase it, you do all the diagnosis, you do everything right, you put the part on it says to put on, and it doesn't fix it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those deals where it may take another 100 miles for it to show up and set another code.
Yeah, and you think it's fixed because you test drove it 15 miles, you came back, they wash it, and the customer leaves, and the next day they call you and say that it's and I think education has a lot to do with that too. I think sometimes you order the part and it won't be here for 3 weeks. You give the customer the car back. That's still considered one visit.
Right.
So some people, no, it took me twice to get it fixed. I'm like, no, not really. So I think the advisor needs to educate the customer on that a little bit better. Last but not least, who I think needs to do their part in this food chain is the customer. And I don't think there's enough talk about that because people don't want to put it on the customer because they're the customer. I had a guy tell me one time, well, I'm the customer and customers are always right. I was like, well, let me rephrase that. You are always the customer, but you're not always right. But that's why I'm being so nice and treating you with such respect, because you are the customer. But think about how many people come in and go, hey, I was at AutoZone. They want and put this part on my car. And we're like, well, what if it doesn't? It'll fix it. They said it would fix it. Then you put the part on the car and it doesn't fix it. They're mad at you.
And they're mad at us.
So I think there's a reason to let them check it out. And usually the diagnosis that you're going to pay goes into the cost of the repair. So I got a neighbor. He hates going to the dealership. He'll spend thousands trying to fix his own car. Well, Google said it needed this part. So he goes and he gets the part and he puts it on. That didn't fix it. And he'll always call me, hey, what do you think it is? Like, I don't know. I'm not a tech.
Then by the time they get to us,
yeah,
they're already mad.
They've spent $2,200.
And it's our fault.
And we know right what it is.
Right. Yeah. I could have saved you $2,000, but.
So I think the customer has a lot to do with their own, making their own luck, just like all of us.
And some of it's just the world we live in right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, everybody's stressed. Everybody's got a million things going on. It's the holidays, coming into Christmas, and people are maxed out.
Yeah. Last week's podcast, we just talked about tips, especially travel tips that can make the customer's visit better. Don't wait till the day before Thanksgiving to come get your car worked on. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Yeah. So one of my biggest tips that I think customers can do is be nice, especially in the beginning. I've seen so many TikToks where the customer's just yelling at the advisor and the advisor don't even know what they're talking about yet because something else happened. So it's extremely stressful for the customer. They got to take off work. Somebody has to pick their kids up from school. They don't have the money.
Right.
There's just so many things. So the customer is highly stressed out, and you've seen it where they're like, their parents just passed away, or the kid's graduating, or somebody's getting married, and then their car breaks down. It is extremely stressful.
I'm going on a trip tomorrow. Well, I can't fix your car today.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do? Well, what can I do?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes our hands are tied. We can only do so much.
Yeah. Things take time.
We'll
to
move
fix.
the mountains that we can to try.
Oh
to
yeah,
go
we
get the
always
part,
try.
But but sometimes it's there's going to be a disappointment.
Yeah. So I always say be nice. Just because I think the nicer you are to the advisor, the more he's going to want to help you.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know anybody that's had more butt chewings than me in my career. I mean, that's what trained me too.
I'd go up against.
You're probably right up there. Well, you've been manager longer, so you probably have. But they don't bother me anymore at all. I usually let the customer just get it all out. They're not necessarily mad at us. They're mad at the situation. And advisors, depending on how bad the butt chewing is, they don't get paid enough to be called names and threaten their family and things like that. And I know you and I both have had guns pulled on us.
Oh yeah.
I know a guy that got shot twice running.
I worked at a Ford dealer, and service advisor had done something had happened, and the guy was super upset. And he told the advisor on the phone, he goes, "I'm going to come kill you." And so we called the police just because. And not 15 minutes later, dude pulls up on the service drive in the F-250 with a pistol on the seat. And unfortunately, the police were there, and he left in cuffs. It was crazy.
So think about it, though. He left in cuffs, and then a customer pulls up, and the advisor might be shaking. You don't know what's going on there, like, too.
Yeah.
So it did.
I just almost got shot. Could you give me a minute?
Yeah, just let me run to the restroom real quick and change my shorts. Yeah, I went on a test drive with a guy that had a gun and said, depending on how our test drive went, depending on whether he was going to use it or not. And I said, well, let me go. I don't want the advisors to go.
I got held hostage by a customer, not at gunpoint, but had a customer that had an intermittent transmission problem, and she swore it would do it.
Yeah.
And
you believed her.
I believe her.
Yeah.
But we couldn't make it do it. We drove it and drove it and drove it. Couldn't do it. So she comes by the dealership about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon and asked me to go for a test drive with her. And I said, okay. And she just takes off down the highway.
Yeah.
For an hour.
Yeah. I've had some of them. You want to say something, hey, there's an exit.
And it's like 6:30, and an hour into the test drive, it does it. And so then we're an hour back to the store.
Yeah.
But she was able to duplicate it, which is great. I fixed it the next day.
I had a guy drop me off in the middle of nowhere. It was he wasn't an ex-fireman. He was a fireman at the time. And he said he had a vibration. I mean, we checked it 4 or 5 times. I think he had buyer's remorse more than anything. Yeah. And he kept saying, yeah. And then we'd be going, 77, I think is when it was. Did you feel that? And I was like, no, I want to feel it because I don't get paid to fix your car unless we find something. You feel it again? Nope. No, that wasn't it. He couldn't feel it either.
Right.
And finally we get out and it's like 103 degrees outside. I'm wearing a suit. And he goes, you know what? I've had enough about this. What do you think if I just dropped you off out in the middle of nowhere? I said, I can get a ride. He goes, okay, get out. I got out. I was glad to not ride with him anymore because he was, cussing at me the whole time. And I called the shuttle van driver and said, hey, I'm out by some trees on this road. And he came and picked me up. But yeah, we tried to help that guy. We wanted to help that guy. Sure. But he did try to come in, 3 months later for something. And we asked him to leave, which I think I've only fired maybe 5 customers in all the years I've been managing.
I'm probably about the same.
Yeah.
It takes a lot.
It does take a lot. Yeah. But I think once the abuse gets.
It's a business.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business. And we're all here to support our families just like anybody else that gets up every day and goes to work.
Have you ever had any customers get into a fight? Customers, each other?
I
have a few times.
So I've had employees get in fights.
Yeah.
I've had technicians.
I've had them almost do that.
Almost beat each other to death.
And I always tell them, go off the premises if you're going to do that. Yeah. We had a customer pull up one time and a customer pulled in behind him who had an appointment with the advisor. The advisor knew it. And this guy had already been greeted, but not waited on. And the guy went out there and this advisor in the front went back there and said, hey, you can't wait on him. You got to wait on me first. He said, well, I have an appointment with this guy. He goes, I don't care. I'm first. And that guy's, why don't you mind your own bit? Next thing you know, they're out there just wailing on each other. And of course, we did have to call the police.
Yeah.
And we both serviced their cars. They got separated. Nobody went to jail, but there's just a lot of stress for these advisors to go through. So I think if you're nice to them, and I don't see it so much anymore, but back when I was an advisor, man, I got so many gift cards and presents and shirts. I was just always getting gifts from my customers. I don't really see that a lot anymore.
We still get some.
Yeah.
You know? Well, you have people bringing some cookies. And
Yeah. And I've never drank, but people are always bringing me alcohol.
Yeah, sometimes a bottle shows up on your desk. Right?
Yeah, yeah. But you don't want to drink at work.
But you're right. I mean, it just takes it everything on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, and if somebody comes in my office and tells me, hey, what's going on, and they're calm and civil, I'm going to be much more apt to really try to help them than I am somebody who wants to come in and just rip my face off and tell me what a horrible person I am.
Yeah, I think if they're yelling and screaming, you're going to do the one thing they came in for and get them out as quick as possible. But if the customer comes in and they go, listen, man, I'm having a really bad day. My daughter missed her dance class because my car wouldn't start, and can you please help me? I guarantee you that advisor is going to do everything he can to get them into a rental car or a loaner car or fix their car or whatever. So,
and we have, the business model has changed. We have the capacity now to do things we didn't used to.
mm-hmm.
Now we can send somebody to your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And jumpstart your car. Or we can take you a loaner, or
I think everybody has roadside assistance now.
Roadside. Or we'll just do it in house. If you're out of warranty and roadside's not coming, we'll send somebody to jump your car or put your spare on and bring your tire back here and fix it.
Do you know? Because I don't even know what has a spare anymore and what doesn't. But do all the Volkswagens have spares, or are they random?
Some of them are inflation kits. And some are spares.
Yeah. So I know roadside assistance comes with the vehicle under warranty. A lot of people don't know this, and you should check this. But a lot of your insurance companies have roadside assistance, and customers don't even know it.
And AAA.
Yeah, AAA is really good. Do y'all have AAA here? Like, are y'all AAA approved?
We're not.
I need to hook you up with the lady that does it. It's a really good deal. Well, I think that's it. We went from the automotive food chain, from the manufacturer to the dealer, to the service manager, to the service advisor, to the technician, to the customer, on what can make a visit better coming to the service department. So I know I had to trick you into coming on here, but you were so good at it. And I really appreciate being on here, PJ. And is there anything else you want to say before you go? Are you ready to go back to work?
Thanks for the opportunity. It's a lot different experience than I thought it would be. But
it
was a lot of fun.
You did really good.
And we'll have to do it again sometime.
All right. You said it, and it's on video.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks again.
Appreciate it, Eddie.
Thank you, viewers, for watching. And you can go to Eddie and Service on just about any social media. And I'm on there. And we're going to be on Spotify and Apple and anywhere else where there's podcasts. And go to my website, eddieandservice.com. If you have any questions, you can comment on there. And we'd love to know what you want to talk about in the dealership world. And you guys have a great week. Thank you.